AI has given people the tool to vomit out books at a pace that Amazon and other online retailers are frankly struggling to keep up with. It's a plague of garbage robot books, and people are already getting hurt. Recently, I've seen this post on Reddit: family poisoned after using AI-generated mushroom identification book we bought from major online retailer. My entire family was in hospital last week after accidentally consuming poisonous mushrooms. My wife purchased a book from a major online retailer for my birthday. The book is entitled something similar to Mushrooms UK, a guide to harvesting safe and edible mushrooms. In reality, the guide was about how to eat the opposite of that. Closer investigation reveals that the images of mushrooms are AI generated. Can't even trust mushrooms anymore. As we're speaking, Amazon's having a mildly fierce battle against this phenomenon. You see, these books are often published using a service called Amazon's KDP, meaning Kindle Direct Publishing, an Amazon service that allows you to self-publish your projects. These people are essentially wielding the infinite power of AI to push real authors to the side and off of a cliff. How bad are these books? Pretty bad, I'd say. I got this one about Elon Musk. There's so much Elon in this book, literally. Look at what's going on with his fingers. He's got more fingers than usual. In this book about Messi, if you look at the background here, his face is literally growing on flowers. So that's a pretty interesting artistic decision, but more on this later. In this article from Vice, they talk about how AI-generated books of nonsense are all over Amazon's bestseller list. They mention how last year, Kindle's young adult romance bestseller list was at some point filled with AI-generated books of nonsense on Monday and Tuesday. But as of Wednesday morning, Amazon appeared to have taken action against these books. That's right, they realized that this is an issue and they gotta implement some tough restrictions to deal with it. As this article by AI Business describes, the AI-generated book problem has gotten so bad that Amazon has implemented a new policy for Kindle authors, restricting them to self-publishing a maximum of 3 books per day on its platform. Thank you, Amazon. Now you can only post 1 trilogy a day. Thank God there's still someone out there advocating for real artists. YouTuber Moop, check him out by the way, very underrated guy with an incredible name. I love the name Moop. He made a very good video about Amazon's AI book problem. His video does a very good job of reflecting how bad this whole situation's gotten.
People were saying that only 19 of the top 100 books were actually written by a human.
19 out of 100 books. What the f***? Some of the main genres that seem to be affected by this are cookbooks and books for children. 2 types of book with little number of words and big picture. The reason probably being that it gives AI less of a room for error compared to if it was maybe trying to write the next Lord of the Rings, for example. That would just have too many rings because of all the fingers that AI pictures have. Lord of the too many fingers and rings is what they would call this one. One of my favorite moments from Moop's video was him talking about this AI cookbook with this one incredibly exotic hot dog recipe.
All you need is ketchup.
Got ketchup right here, don't even worry about it.
Brown sugar.
I got white sugar over here, don't even worry about it. Boom.
And store-bought hot dog.
Didn't feel like walking all the way to buy a hot dog, so I bought a sausage. Didn't buy buns though, so like the Queen of England, this one's inbred. Oh, is that it? Oh. Well, I don't know. I don't want to be too mean. What do you guys think? I do kind of want to focus on the children's books though, because I think they're funnier and more depressing. Definitely more depressing. Welcome everybody to Story Time with Pinely. I made this entire set for this segment. This program is meant to enrich your child's mind. And that's why today I brought you a book from the famous child's author, doesn't really say. It just says Little Believer's Library. That's always a good sign. When no one wants to take accountability for this shit, that means you're about to read a real good book. Oh no. Oh. So I got a bunch of books from this Little Believer's library author. None of them seem to have real title. They just have the names of the people that the book is about. That's pretty cool. I always like my books to be very algorithmically optimized, you know? Elon Musk, raised by books, life story of a young dreamer who built rockets and electric wonders. What? He never built rockets. His team of scientists did. People that worked for him did that. Elon loved to imagine, create, and dream about the stars above. Now, you might not notice this, but there are 2 Elon Musks in this picture. And 2 little boys? At the bottom, microscopic little boys. Elon's eyes sparkled like stars as he drew spaceships on paper. He doesn't even have hands. Oh my god, not again. At just age 12, Elon created a computer game called Blastar. He sold it to a magazine and earned $500. And it seems like the game is just him looking at a video of himself wearing a suit. Jesus, look at the next page. What the fuck? Why is everyone there Elon Musk? Why does the girl look like Elon Musk? Elon had friends who believed in him too. Yeah, just a bunch of his clones. They built rockets and talked about how to make the world a better place. Just him and the voices of his head, I guess. Elon's dreams didn't stop at the sky. He dug tunnels to make fast roads underground, where cars could zoom without traffic. That's right. He invented tunnels. Elon loved sharing his dreams with kids. He told them to never stop dreaming and to believe in themselves. Because one day, you could produce this pile of f***ing garbage. Elon's dreams shine. They keep talking about dreams all the time. Elon's dreams shine brightly in the sky. His legacy inspires us all to reach for the stars and never give up on our dreams. What if your dream is to, like, write a book, you know? It keeps going on dreams. Remember, dear reader, you too can dream big and make amazing things happen. Elon Musk is a real person who turned his dreams into reality. And the next page is, and so the story of Elon and his space dreams comes to an end. Thank God. Thank God. Then they needed to fill out some more space, so you get a did you know section? Did you know that he's the richest man? Yeah, I didn't know. The book ends with this. Here's a quest. If you're keen on providing a review, please ink this pinky promise pact. I, Pinely, hereby pinky promise to leave an epic and glowing review for this book. My pinky finger stands as a witness to this digital pact, and I pledge to shower words of praise and admiration. F*** off! And then you gotta sign this. Well, nope. Next book is this one, the one about Messi. And let me tell you, it gets pretty disorganized over here with this one. The book also has a bunch of weird people on the front of it. You know, don't even worry about it. As Messi kicked the ball with his tiny feet, his talent started to shine. Everyone around him saw his amazing skills. I don't think they did. I think most of the people here aren't even looking at him. Oh God. What is this? At 11 years old, Messi faced a challenge, growth hormone deficiency, and it has a scan of his face on a fucking skeleton. What? And at the bottom, I just noticed this. There's like the skeleton of a long dead dog. The dog was dead, and he sat in this doctor's office for so long that he turned into bone. You can't really read what it says on those shirts, those Barcelona shirts. Messi loved playing football like a child. And as all kids, you always gotta play the game with a clone of yourself. And also have a thumb, a big old thumb. Like one of those thumbs that are like pulsating because of a cartoon situation that has happened. Lionel Messi's story is one of dreams, just like Elon Musk's. At the end, they had to fill out a page with this shit. Goat. Just a goat. Here's a goat. Greatest of all time. Here's a quest. If you're keen on providing a review, please ink this pinky promise pact. My pinky finger stands as a witness to this digital pact. I also bought a book called How to Be a YouTuber, because I've always wanted to figure that one out. Say hello to Max and Anne. Hello. Max and Anne are dynamic mentors, poised to lead you on an enlightening journey into the realm of YouTube. This first page just has a bunch of what is clearly random pictures they found on Google when they looked up the word YouTube. So that's pretty cool. Oh, this is good. I need this. Negative feedback. Dealing with negative comments or criticism can be disheartening. It sure can. But it's important to not let it discourage you. Remember that not everyone will like or agree with your content. And then at the bottom, it shows a kid tormented by the hate comments. He has to grab his head because he's so tormented. And to that, they just say, stay positive. I gotta deal with haters all the time, specifically my grandmother. If you guys remember, a few weeks ago, she roasted me for my sub count moving slowly. That's a real story, by the way. Then we hit 500k, which is incredible. Thank you so much. And she was just like, where's the million, bitch? Please subscribe quickly, because I'm starting to become scared. She is radiating a dangerous aura. This book is hideous. It's just the worst looking book I've ever seen in my whole life. Share your story and make your mark on the world. The possibilities are endless, and the only limit is your imagination. I've had enough of these fuckers talking about imagination. At this point, you might be wondering, what exactly goes on in the mind of someone who creates one of these books? Well, there's no real way of knowing. It's a machine after all. But this series of tweets gives us an insight into the mind of the person who clicked on the button that turned the machine on. I spent the weekend playing with ChatGPT, Midjourney, and other AI tools, and by combining all of them, published a children's book co-written and illustrated by AI. Here's how. Ah, nice. That's it. That's exciting. First, the idea. I wanted to not come up with anything myself. That's not what he's saying, but I'm just kind of bringing out the subtext here. I wanted a story showing the magic of AI to children. I gave ChatGPT a prompt and went back and forth with it to refine details and get inspiration for the illustrations. Inspiration, as if you're drawing this yourself. It's just you're getting one machine to tell you what to give another machine. That's all that's going on here. It was like having a constant brainstorming partner who I could ping pong ideas off of. Let's look at this exciting ping pong game of ideas going on here. Describe Sparkle. Sparkle was a magical AI that Alice created. It was incredibly intelligent and could do all sorts of amazing things. It had the ability to learn what did Sparkle look like. It is not specified in the story what Sparkle looked like, as AIs do not have a physical appearance. They exist in the digital world and can take many different forms. This really doesn't seem like brainstorming. This is like a group project where you're just getting the guy, just that one smart guy, to do everything for you. Then I took those ideas that he didn't come up with to Midjourney and gave it prompt after prompt till I could get a somewhat consistent style. That's what I love about Dr. Seuss, you know? It has somewhat of a consistent style. One time it looks like a Dr. Seuss drawing, the other time it's a hyper-realistic photo. You don't even know what to get. There are also some hilarious results. What's going on with those eyes and hands? I combined all of those and put them together in a book format and signed up to Amazon Kindle Publishing, KDP. Filled out the book details, created a little cover, and even had ChatGPT help me with the description. Yeah, I mean, why not at this point? And boom. In a weekend, from idea, not yours, to illustration, to becoming a publisher and author. You can check out the book on Amazon here. And if you have any kids you want to gift this to, let me know. I'd love to send you a copy. Oh, please do not. When you go to the link now, it seems like it doesn't exist anymore. So that's I'll give Amazon 15 points for that. But it's been 2 years, so I don't know what he thinks about this now. Maybe he took it down, you know? This thread was posted on Twitter 2 years ago, right when making an AI book had started to become a feasible reality. And I actually remember reading this thread back then. A bunch of people were like dunking on this guy. And I remember thinking to myself, ha ha ha. But also, oh no, and oh god no. This was way too easy for this person to do. And also, I don't really like the door that this opens up. And 2 years later, That door is more open than ever, baby. Hello, I'm Computer Pinely. They call me that because I'm about to use my computer now. Join me as we check out the sheer amount of websites like this that exist. It's pretty cool. Now, on average, 100 books could take a human being 100 years to make if they write really short books. But here, you can do it with $60 at a click of a button. Isn't that incredible? I could maybe do one of these cheaper options for this video, but alas, I don't really want to. Luckily, we can still see how a book generated from this website looks like because they have a bunch of samples for us. This is the one that piqued my interest the most. The Importance of Going Slow is a pretty crazy title coming from a website allowing you to create 100 books in a second. Now, if you go through this, for the majority of this thing, this is like a self-help book about time management. Time management is something that many of us struggle with. It can seem like there's never enough time in the day to get everything done, but if we take the time to slow down and really focus on what's important, we can— Yeah, right, you AI shit. You just want us to catch us off guard. So yeah, self-help for the most of this. But then, you got to page 21. The concept of positive thinking is one of the most powerful tools we have in the world of management. It can be used to inspire and motivate employees. They start talking about employee management. This isn't what this book's about. It's a self-help thing. This book is an idiot. Keep in mind, this is one of the 3 books they decided to showcase on their website. This is really the best of the best that they can offer. All right, let's try out website number 2. This one's called Scripts. What makes it special? On average, you can save 96.75% or more of time spent writing a book with Scribdic. Oh, and you can also increase productivity by over 2,977%. I'd love to hear the maths on that. Scribistic was created by authors with endless ideas and not enough time on their hands. I don't know. You can call me old-fashioned if you want. I come from the belief that if you're an author with endless ideas that you don't write, but you have like something else write them for you, maybe you're not an author. Please only fill out the form if you are serious about using this powerful AI software. Well, I'm not, so let's move on to the last one. Website number 3 is called Designer, but it's spelt in a dumb way. That's a pretty common thread between these websites, you know? They're getting AI to help them write all these things. Can't even spell the word designer for crying out loud. Designer, but spelt in a dumb way, says that they allow you to create, design, and launch stunning ebooks and reports in 2 minutes without writing a word. Ooh, that's a bit slow. The last place told me I can do it in 1 minute. They offer to establish yourself as an expert. Okay, we'll see about that. So this is how this interface works. You type in your topic or niche, like Apple Watch. You choose your sub-niche, like Apple Watch. And if you wanted it to get even more depressing, you write exactly who your target audience is. So this creation of yours ends up being as much of a product as you can hope it to be. Now, if you've needed any more proof that all these apps are just ChatGPT, literally they're just ChatGPT. The prompts that you're typing into it, it's just the prompts that it's giving ChatGPT. If you needed any more proof, here you go. Look at the suggested titles for the ebook. Maximum Fitness with Apple Watch, a guide for men over 40. Apple Watch and Healthy Habits, a guide for men over 40. Get Fit with Apple Watch, a guide for men over 40. Because as it stands, if you tell ChatGPT that your book is meant for men over 40, it's not really gonna have the nuance to give you a title that is like market research to work for men who are over the age of 40. It's just gonna state the words men over 40 1 billion times in the title. And this is how the book looks. Look at this, the wonderful power of AI. Look at this great book that we got. Welcome to Apple Watch for men over 40. This book is designed to help men over 40. And it keeps saying it so many times. The Apple Watch is an incredibly versatile device that can help men over 40. We've just removed the 2 biggest hurdles you faced in creating an ebook: writing it and getting it designed. But that's the whole f***ing thing. Just like with a lot of AI generated material, there's a plagiarism problem with this one too. I'd say it kind of splits into different avenues. There's a more common problem, the fact that these text-based programs are using something to train on, right? Pre-existing literary work, if we're talking about books, for example. But sometimes it's done in a way that feels a lot more intentional and even personal than that.
People are using AI-generated content to create knockoffs of actual books, because the easiest way to sell someone AI-generated slop is to make them think it's not, and the easiest way to do that is impersonation.
There's a lot of examples like this, so many, but this one that I'm gonna talk about right now is one of the more outrageous ones, I'd say. So let's talk about that. This Guardian article talks about author Rory Cellan-Jones, author of Sylvia, Me, and the BBC. Rory's book describes how he discovered a shoebox of letters from his mother detailing her love affair with his father, a BBC TV director he only met at the age of 23. It is, he said, about growing up with a single mother and a father who wasn't there. An incredibly personal story. Maybe the worst kind of story for someone to steal. Imagine that, right? That would be pretty crazy to steal something like that. Rory talks about how he got one of those "you might like this" emails from Amazon. In it, he found out that a biography was actually made about him. Pretty cool stuff. I thought, this is strange. Who's writing a biography of me? I don't kid myself. It's difficult enough for me to sell books about myself, let alone for other people to sell books about me. But glancing at a few passages revealed that Cellan-Jones had fallen victim to someone attempting to piggyback on his memoir by releasing a title with text apparently generated by artificial intelligence. Roro Raggy? The book rivaling his family detective story was complete fantasy. Their algorithm had decided this was a bloody book I would want, rather than recommending my book that I've slaved long and hard over. They're effectively allowing book spam and recommending it to the very person who is most annoyed by it. This is like a really common thing they do. They take pre-existing books that someone worked a lot on, sweated a bunch of sweat drops over. They throw that text into an AI generator and just ask it to kind of shit a new thing that's kind of reworded and sounds different enough. And who knows, they might even end up making more money than the original author just off of the ability to spam a billion versions like that. The other story I'd like to bring up is one of a book called The Anxious Generation. This book by Jonathan Haidt has found tremendous success, staying strong for 14 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. If you were to look it up on Amazon, it would show up as your first result, but I don't think anyone would blame you if you were to end up buying one of the 50 million other books with essentially the exact same name. The Anxious Generation, a global perspective on the rise of childhood mental illness. Anxious Generation, a guide and workbook for teens and young adults to navigate mental health in the digital age. The Anxious Generation Habits. Ooh, they changed it up a little bit. 7 effective ways of who gives a all of them released a few months after Jonathan's book. Now, I don't know for a fact if these books are AI generated. Amazon has recently added a feature, a little tagline that shows you if it detects that a book does fall under that category, which I haven't seen that for these unless I'm missing something. But the thing is, AI is a tool. There are many ways to use it. And it's not that hard to just choose to be a bit more sneaky with it, you know, in a way that doesn't get you caught. Thankfully, YouTube offers a lot of people that say that they can teach you that. These people really want me to believe that this is the future, you know? Free course, How I Made $200,000 with ChatGPT ebook automation at 20 years old. How to write a book with AI in 2024. Passive income. Get paid $326 per day with Google Books using AI. But nothing more. I don't want to see you making a cent more than $326 a day. Write an entire ebook using ChatGPT and Canva. Easy passive income. You know, when I was a kid, I used to want to be an author. Thought it was pretty incredible, the idea of creating a whole entire world with nothing but words. Boy, am I glad I gave up on that one. Writing books is not about creating words, it's about passive income. I just ate author propaganda like some sort of sucker. Now honestly, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh here, you know? With all my light jabs that I've been lightly jabbing at them. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should give these people a real chance. Let's watch one of these videos, shall we?
In this video, I'll show you the correct way to use ChatGPT to write a book.
This guy is called Sean. He made a video called The Correct Way to Write a Book with ChatGPT. And he also made a video called Do Not Use ChatGPT to Write a Book in 2024. I'm getting all sorts of mixed messages from these titles. Oh wait, it says unless you do this. Okay, this is still a good source of information then. Apparently Sean has sold and built a 7-figure publishing business which made him a millionaire at the age of 26.
And I've built and sold a 7-figure publishing business which made me a millionaire at age 26.
In this video, as the title suggests, Sean lays out what he sees as the correct way to use AI for book writing. And the start of this seemed pretty promising-ish.
Now, what you do not want to do with ChatGPT is to use it to replace your writing. So it's very, very important.
Like, you know, I can get behind that sentence.
You don't want to just copy-paste the content as is.
And that as well. But Sean's point isn't that you shouldn't use ChatGPT. He more talks about how to use it while, you know, kind of getting away with it.
And the reason why you want to do that is because if I go to ChatGPT and just simply copy this text that it generated, so this website will basically detect if the content is AI generated or not. Now, manually rewriting the entire content is a little tedious, so there are 2 different websites that will help you do this.
It seems like the main reasons Sean has an aversion from like copy-paste AI, like the really blatant shit we saw earlier where it's really obvious, is A, because of the business side of things, not only Amazon's restrictions, but also the fact that customers can tell because AI books are horrible. And also plagiarism, he says that as well. He says that if you are to use AI ChatGPT stuff, you should run it through a plagiarism checker to check if it's been plagiarized. Sean's business itself seems to be using a mix of AI and apparently like a team of ghostwriters. I thought it would be interesting to learn more specifics about that process, so I figured it might be time to do a little bit of tame undercover work. It's a pretty light undercut. It's not too intense. I might be going out on a limb here, but Sean really strikes me as the kind of guy to have some sort of proven formula to create and self-publish books that sell. And oh my god, he does. On his website, it states that I can even get a free call. Am I in heaven right now? What will you get in your free call? Custom strategy, that's number 1. You're gonna learn the best way to approach Amazon KDP to achieve your goals based on where you are now and where you wanna be in 12 months. The next 12 months, that is. 0 to hero roadmap. Discover the exact roadmap to go from 0 to success to hero. Right fit evaluation. What we teach doesn't suit everyone. It takes hard work, dedication. Now, I have a magic crystal ball here, and I'm gonna use it to make a few bold predictions. I predict that the free call is not gonna really give me any of the tools listed above, but I think it's telling me that it's actually gonna be a sales call with a salesperson trying to get me to buy a course, you know? The ball also states that the 0 to hero roadmap is gonna be them just vaguely telling me how long this is gonna take. Ooh, and it's also telling me that the right fit evaluation thing is just gonna be them checking that I have enough money to spend on this thing. And also them negging me. I remember Andrew Tate doing that with his course. We wanna make sure that the people who get this course hard enough. And it puts you into this position where you gotta like prove yourself because you don't want anyone to think that you don't hard enough, you know? The call is with a person who, for the sake of this video, would be referred to as Mr. C, my new best friend, perhaps. I'm assuming Sean was busy making too much money. Mr. C is British, so I didn't record the call. There's a bunch of legal stuff to do with that. Instead, I brought in Memeulous for a recreation of the events of the call. Also, I'm gonna read this statement now. The following is a reenactment based off of notes taken during our conversation. The content has been recreated to the best of my ability, but it may not reflect the exact wording or tone used throughout the original conversation. This recreation is intended for illustrative and somewhat educational purposes only, and is not a verbatim recording story.
So I'm assuming you booked this call because you want to know how we can help you make money with Amazon KDP, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Basically, I'm going to go through like why you're here, why you want to do the course, kind of why you want to get started in online business, what your goals are. Why did you book this call?
In terms of like why I'm interested in this field, it just seems like a very, I've noticed that the market is tapped to some extent, but it's still kind of like a developing market. Just seems, it just seems super interesting.
Do you have like specific income goals or anything you want?
I guess 10K a month would be a good point to get to. Mr. C told me all about his success story, and what can I say? It was pretty inspiring. It's cool to hear a person say that they make like 6 figures and whatnot. The guy was younger than me and he was making all that money through KDP. He makes so much money that I could only assume that he's doing this call out of the goodness of his heart. Mr. C told me that they offer 2 types of courses. The less expensive one.
Look, so it's a pre-built video course, which is the foundation, whether you get the mentorship or not. It's the foundation of all of it because you need to kind of understand, how to find keywords, what makes a 10 out of 10 book.
The course includes occasional calls with Mr. C, interviews with top students, which is a pretty standard thing in a course like that. I'm not saying that people don't make money off of this thing. He showed me examples of people who do, but that's kind of the purpose of that, to imagine yourself within that kind of success story, to make you think that you're gonna be doing the exact same thing.
Okay, and that's $1,997. The Elite package includes everything mentioned. Instead of 2 free calls, you get 22 free calls with me over a 12-month period.
I found free to be an interesting word to use in that context. You're gonna hear how much this course costs, and it's pretty damn far away from free. It costs as much as a car. I'll tell you what car in a bit. Credit to Mr. C though, from what I remember, he refused to make any income claims during this call.
We'd never make claims about income.
Mainly because it's illegal in the UK.
Because it's not legal, but what I do claim is that we can master the process of publishing and give you the best chance of building a self-sustaining, profitable publishing business. The cost of the Elite program is $7,800.
You can buy this car right here for that price. If you want to, you can do that. It's so much money that I'd like to put this into perspective for a second. For £120 a year, you can sign up to BBC Maestro, which has video lessons from a bunch of real writers. Masterclass, which while I did lightly make fun of in my video, has a bunch of really good classes. And it costs about the same as the last thing per year, 100 and something, For $7,800, you can take a course in creative writing from the prestigious University of Oxford. 9 f***ing times. But I think we all realize that this isn't where the comparison lies. These teach you creative writing, while Sean's course is simply about making money.
Which one are you most interested in? We can go into more detail from that.
I'll probably have to take like a day to think about it. I think maybe the second one, but yeah, I'll have to talk to my wife about it as well.
Of course, so if you can kind of talk to me a little bit more about your situation and goals, because if you're interested in the Elite package, I have to know more about this because I'm very picky with who I take on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just entered the negging zone.
I need to make sure people that join are driven and have the resources kind of available. So if you could kind of talk to me for a little bit more about your goals and why you want to join, we can just see if you're a good fit.
This is what I was waiting for. A chance to prove myself. Well, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's like I said earlier, it's a market that I really want to get into. And I've been kind of gathering the finances to support something like that. I have the finances to do that.
Perfect.
But I am kind of curious about what sort of finances would I actually need, for the actual...
Publishing?
Yeah, publishing and all that.
I don't like taking people on with, say, less than 5,000 or 6,000 set aside on top of coaching budget.
And this is just from what Mr. C described, according to my notes and my memory, as the building phase.
I like to see the first 12 months as part of the building phase.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm aware that building a business is expensive, but still, that's a lot of money, and you're entering a market that's pretty damn saturated. So I did wonder, what are they doing differently?
With the standards we have, you're not going to be publishing a ton of books if you're doing high-level content. So here's one of my, students.
He went on to show me example after example of the high-level content, book content level of content. He used the word content a lot when talking about books. And he said that the first book usually takes like 2 months. So that's a ding. That's a ding for one of the things on the list of like the sort of timeline over here, you know?
You'd be looking to release your first book within the first 2 months. The first one takes the longest, right? Because that's where you build your processes and your systems and you find your outline, right? Or you use AI, find your team, blah, blah, blah. You build all these different aspects. Once you have that, you kind of want to automate the process. So you can ideally do up to a book a month in high content or multiple books every month.
Multiple books a month of high quality content. The most common books that he showed me were cooking books, like we saw earlier, manuals on how to learn how to use the guitar, and a bunch of business books as well. The first two, I guess, seem like something that you can release, or in my opinion, spam at that pace. I don't know if it will be very high quality, but he says that they are. In terms of like the pen name, does it have to be your actual name, or do you...
No. So like the example I showed you earlier is not her name.
Cool.
You have any idea kind of what kind of brand you want to build?
I'm actually not really sure at the moment. It's kind of something that I was, I guess, hoping to figure out along the way with the course.
Of course, and that's exactly what will help you do. But just to show you, like, it can be anything, right?
It was kind of beautiful. No answer was the wrong answer during this call. At this point, though, I kind of wanted to see where AI, which he mentioned earlier, fits into this whole sort of machine. I guess the last thing is, you mentioned AI at some point. I know that sometimes AI writing can be, you know, a tad noticeable. I was wondering if that's something you see in the reviews for the books afterwards.
It's not really AI writing. It's more AI used for like outlines and stuff like that. It's always brilliant for like research and that kind of stuff. But then if you kind of come here to the prompt guide, we have a lot of AI prompts that you can do.
So I find this pretty interesting to get into, because while the examples I showed you earlier are probably the most obvious uses of AI for book writing, what he showed me was definitely more subtle than that.
And then of course you add human touches as you go. As you kind of alluded to, AI is far from perfect.
He showed me then a little guide for like the prompts that they give students of their course, like a guide for prompts to kind of put out in AI. He didn't show the full extent of them, because I guess that's something that you only learn once you pay money. But I did see what the guide helps you with. It helps you create your niche, your profile picture, the title of the book, the outline of your book, the description of it, and even your name.
Right, and companies we're partnered with are coming out with like combined packages of AI plus human.
AI plus human packages. Can you even imagine such an incredible future? A big old takeaway here is that book spammers are just not a new thing. Mr. C mentioned that he started doing what he was doing way before ChatGPT was birthed into existence. It's just that ChatGPT made it and is going to continue making it way easier to do that. There's a lot of books in the world. It's already pretty damn hard to try and stand out as a person who writes things. It's hard to fight against spam. All in all, the call was super low pressure. After all, I'm the person who needs to prove myself to him. It's Mr. C. He just gets the best of the best. He doesn't really care if I sign up or not.
By the way, after this, what I'm going to do is send you an email with the full payment links for whatever program you're going to go with, especially for the, for either program. I usually stay in the call while someone signs up.
Oh, okay. He's been sending me so many emails since this call. I'm pretty sure he makes a lot of his money through commission. So yeah, safe to say that I'm almost $14,000 in debt now.